All right, I'll call this meeting to order. All members are present. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Lynn.
Second.
Second by Jennifer. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Agenda is approved. Comments and requests from visitors? None. Moving on. Item 4, resolution to canvassing the return votes for the election of 2020. So we do have the results in your packet, and is there any questions about that, or otherwise it appears that Chuck Henches and Sunny Hess and Lynn Sherman were the 3 candidates that had the most votes. So those will be our board members for the next 4-year term. So is there a motion for a resolution to approve the results as presented?
I move to adopt the resolution to accept the results as presented.
Motion by Kara.
Second.
Second by Jennifer. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote please. Jennifer?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Unanimous approval of the election results. And then item 2 is a resolution to issue certificates of election. So is there a motion for that resolution?
Make that motion.
Motion by Lynn. Second by Jason. Any further discussion? Again, roll call vote for the issuance of certificates for election 2020.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion unanimously approved for the issuance of election certificates. And then item number 6 is the Executive Order 2094 and 2095. Some discussion.
So, recorded board, over the last few days since Executive Order 2094, 2095 came out, we worked collaboratively with our Education Minister Rocori, our administrative team, and our board negotiations team to discuss how we would implement 2094, 2095. And we have tentative plans on how to do that. News out yesterday is that MDE is going to come down with some further guidance, and so to release our plan right now would be premature until I see that guidance today. But I can say that unless we're forced to do something that we haven't already planned, we have a plan has been agreed upon across the team. So that's where we are with.
Is there any idea when your D is gonna?
They said today.
Okay.
And what do you mean by guidance?
Well,
The
rules of how to implement it.
Oh, you talk about just those executive orders,
Yes. So it needs further guidance on how you can implement the order. And as we talked about, if the words aren't must or shall be, then our plan will probably be good, and we can implement it.
Plan meaning what?
The plan meaning that we want to use larger chunks in full days rather than mess with the schedule on a daily basis.
I don't know, is everybody aware of that?
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, if that's really prep time, will they be reporting to the building then?
Yes.
For those entire days? Okay.
And we would try to plan it around,
Larger breaks.
yeah, where parents can plan.
We just need to have a consensus that would be the way to go, so we don't have to have a special meeting.
They are still going to be instructional days, and so I looked into that. they wouldn't be student reporting days, but they're still going to be considered instruction days, so we're not changing the calendar so much as what the kids would be doing. I mean, consensus is nice, I see a lot of head shaking, but at this point, I don't think it's going to require board action, because we're not actually changing the calendar. And likewise, it does not become a MOU because we are not changing their terms and conditions as well.
So when you say not changing the calendar, that just means students don't report those days.
I mean, obviously, I would guess superintendents have voiced their opinion to MDE that it's going to be very difficult to figure out 30 minutes during the day when it comes to busing and parent supervision and just the overall logistics of carving out 30 minutes. I mean, I would like to believe they've heard that.
Yes, yes, they have heard that, especially on the hybrid.
I was gonna say, it's mostly affecting those of us with hybrid, because if they're,
If we're in person, the executive order is not, you don't need it if you're in person. If you're on distance learning, we just adjust the distance learning times. They're already home, so there's no adjustment there. It's in the hybrid models where the adjustment has to happen.
But, I mean, let's be real, it's still lost instruction time for students,
it is.
whether they're in distance learning or in hybrid. And I want people to understand that this is not something that the district is excited about, because our students have lost enough instruction time this year. And I think I can speak for everybody on this board that more lost instruction is not our desire, but this executive order is pretty much crippling us. It's forcing us to take more instruction time from our students.
And that question was asked about, I know Jennifer asked about maybe we could they'd walk it back, but that there's no chance of that. I mean, they're enforcing the executive order. That was made very clear from the governor that this executive order is going to happen.
This executive order is.
And there's no expiration on the executive order? Like, how do we get out of this? What are the parameters to, like, if we get into full all day, every day learning, this goes away, right? Because this is only with hybrid and distance.
We are in-person instruction all day, every day. This order goes away.
So are you sure, because what about the schools? I mean, there's got to be a school in Minnesota that is in full instruction.
I think one of the last ones was Dasko Cato, and they just went to hybrids.
Yeah, they just went to hybrid.
But he went like northern Minnesota up in the,
they've actually got higher cases. in those
That's actually worse.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of staffing issues up there.
well, that's like with the northwest corner. Northwest corner, right? Like Kitson County and.
But it's next to North Dakota, very highest numbers.
Awesome.
Okay, so we get out of it, distance learning, we get out of it if the executive order, it doesn't have an expiration date. This goes on until.
Well, executive orders do have,
I think it's set through the school year, or until another order comes into play.
Okay. And then explain to me this, like if the legislature takes away the governor's executive powers, then does it also go away?
The legislature voted to take away the governor's emergency powers, and some of these orders will go away soon.
And then I guess the last question, we talked to our teachers about them wanting to stay as is, and you've also come to the conclusion that that is not going to happen. I mean, they're going to take their 30 minutes that the executive order is giving.
Our teachers have worked very collaboratively with us on this executive order, and they want to be in school as much as we do.
So can they elect to stay
They cannot,
based on,
law.
Because it's considered a law, when it's an executive order, it's an enforceable, punishable law.
so if they elect to come early for 30 minutes a day, they can go to jail?
We cannot do that to them.
Well, I'm saying they're volunteering, I'm saying, because we talked about exhausting that and finding out if they would want to, stay with that, and we're taking the union guidelines.
No, we're taking the legal guidance from our attorney that says do not violate Heller, which is a public employees labor relations act, which means you can't force them to
No, I'm not, no, I want the public to understand, I'm not asking about forcing or anything. We talked about asking them if they would want to. And I just want to make sure the public understands. We've asked them, and that's not gonna happen. And we've also asked if the executive order be walked back, because the people deserve to know, because otherwise, you all get blamed. So let's just make sure everybody understands. I mean, whether it's a law or whether they have to follow the union, we've asked them, and they're going to follow that executive order that gives them and the union the power to say they get 30 more minutes. We're not forcing them or asking them to, we're not. So again, I think it's confusing to people, and I think it's fair that people know.
I'll just tell you this, that our teachers did not ask for this.
I agree with that. It's just sad, again, that our teachers don't ask for something that maybe they would wish is not happening, but we talk about it as being a law. I mean, seriously. I mean, again, public just needs to know, because you get a choice to vote for people, you get a choice to put people in power that are doing and making these things happen. And again, I'm not going to stop back from what I've said. The 12 to 18-year-old kid is being punished around the country and in our state and our community. And someone's got to speak up for them. And the only way it happens is the public knows what is going on. So, our governor signed an executive order that said we got to give the teachers 30 more minutes a day. Our teachers don't have the ability to I guess, step away from that, and they're going to follow that guideline that they're getting from their union, period. Because our teachers didn't ask for it. Most teachers didn't ask for it.
Well, the union asked for it because
The union asked for
That's
it.
not our teachers necessarily.
I know, but the state
It wasn't our teachers that asked for this.
But the state
It was
did.
the union that represents them.
Right, and I think people need to understand that, because they want to blame teachers, and they want to blame you, and they want to blame somebody. Blame your leadership, blame your union reps, because I would be willing to guess 90% of the teachers around the state were not asked if that would be their number one thing that they need is 30 minutes. My guess is that's not it.
Well, and the reality, though, is that there's not all that many districts still in hybrid. So they were representing those districts that were having issues because of being in hybrid, I'm assuming.
But not ours. I mean, if we don't believe that our teachers wanted this, that they weren't representing ours. I think to Shannon's point, all he is saying is that this is not something that our teachers specifically asked for, and the public deserves to know that, because otherwise our community is looking at our teachers as asking for this, and our teachers, it's not fair to them to be scrutinized that way if in fact they weren't the ones asking for it.
Thank you for clarifying that. This is nothing, I mean, our teachers are probably willing to be there. And, yeah, people deserve to know where this is coming from.
So, to the agreement, it sounds like there's a consensus though amongst the board members to pursue that avenue as long as the MDH recommendations do not require us to do something else.
Larger chunks of times near our current breaks.
All right, anything else? All right, otherwise meeting adjourned. Thanks.